become quickly apparent that in the Quran it mentions nothing of what the media think or want you to think that it does, and that was a huge eye-opener for me. That made me dislike the media even more. You know what I mean? It's pure lies, it's pure storytelling.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ketemu lagi di channel Adama Entertainment, channelnya tentang video Islam dan juga kisah mu'alaf. Sebelum mulai, jangan lupa untuk like dan juga subscribe ya. Tanpa panjang lebar, ayo kita saksikan.
Holiday, born and bred in the northeast of England, live in Washington all my life. She's always been Protestant. I think that was probably one of the reasons why religion's never been pushed heavily upon us, but I was christened. So my mum and dad obviously followed Christianity and different methods of Christianity. Religion was always there. You were taught it in school. You had Christmas, you had Easters, you had all of that. As I started to get a little bit older and started to work out why are we doing this, what was it for, my perception started to change quite a lot, because nobody was doing Christmas for the celebration of Jesus Christ's birthday. Nobody. All my friends and family, perhaps with the exception of my grandparents, but we were certainly celebrating the gifts. We were celebrating the presents. We were celebrating the coolest new phone, the coolest new skateboard, however young I was, kind of thing. It certainly wasn't let's go to church and let's pray and let's celebrate the life of the God or the prophet or whoever Christianity was believing in at that point in time. So I think watching that get diluted over the years made me dilute my belief. Christianity's not for me. I'd probably become a non-believer at that point in time. It was like, well, everybody's doing it for the gimmick. Everyone's doing it for the merchandise, Easter. At the age of sort of 11, 12, 13, 14, I'm starting to think to myself, well, people are just doing it for a laugh. People are making money out of this. People are making Christmas cards. People are making Easter cards. People are selling Easter, Christmas related things. That's not about religion. That's about making a profit. And I think at that point, it was certainly sort of that kind of age. Religion to me wasn't what it was. Didn't care about looking into any other religions. And it was probably when I got a lot older, it was probably talking maybe mid-20s, when the media was so big and so pushy towards and negative towards Islam and Muslims. And everything that was bad in the world, it was a terrorist act because of a Muslim, terrorist attack because of somebody who followed Islam. And at that point in time, I didn't turn and follow the media and say, I don't like Muslim, I don't like somebody who follows a different religion. I questioned, why would somebody follow this kind of religion? And deep down, I couldn't believe that there's a religion out there that said, go out and do these bad crimes, go out and jump on a plane and crash it into a building. I couldn't believe that people would be taught to do that. And I thought, at the time, I think there was maybe 1.2 billion people who followed Islam at the time. And I was like, there's no way if all of these people wanted to go and bomb a building or do something, the world would be a disaster. There's too many people following a particular set of guidelines to destroy us. And it was that which really made me think, well, I'm going to find out what this is all about. Why is the media so against it? Why have so many people following it? And I think it was through that period of my time that it became quickly apparent that in the Quran it mentions nothing of what the media think or want you to think that it does. And that was a huge eye-opener for me. That made me dislike the media even more. You know what I mean? It's pure lies, it's pure storytelling, and it's pure what is going to get a headline, and which just isn't right in my eyes. And that drove me more and more. That made me want to learn more about this religion. Why on earth is there so many people so strongly believed, still go to mosque, still believe in it, even though if you're of a certain colour skin, going onto a plane, you're going to get searched even more? Why would you still say, I am Muslim? And I think it was that belief of all these other people that didn't allow the media and didn't allow this small minority. It has to be a small minority, because if it was any bigger, the world would be over. So the small minority of people who were taking the religion, twisting it, doing it wrong. And it was at that time that I really started my research and really understood what Islam was all about. To find my research and to learn about Islam, the age I am, internet was everywhere. People didn't really go out and ask questions. You just went to Google, and YouTube was my source of information. It was great. It told me some really good, interesting things. Of course, there's negative things out there, and I watched both. The negative ones, I wanted to find out why they were saying that, what part, and quite often they were taking a single sentence of the Quran, or they were taking a single action that somebody did, and they weren't looking at the bigger picture. So when you research into that element a little bit further, the Quran's all about being nice to one another, it's all about loving one another, it's all about treating each other equal, to the point where the media leads you to believe that women should be treated differently to men. Men are the superior, women are not to be thought about, not to be spoken to, they should be beat, they should be left to their own devices, kind of thing. They shouldn't work. But reading and doing the research into the Quran mentions man and woman exactly the same amount of times. It says to treat women as equal, teach women equal, teach men the same. A man should teach a woman. If a woman knows something, they should teach a man. And for me, understanding and realising that the Quran was written in such a way, how on earth can the media twist that? It's because they don't look at it fully. What the media portray is culture. It's not the religion. So for me, that research really hit home that, look, this is an equal religion, this is a loving religion, this is a make yourself a better person religion. And the bit which really hit home about the man and woman was, how on earth could the media make you believe that a person wrote this and write exactly the same over hundreds of pages of documentation, write exactly the same? They didn't have spell check, they didn't have a computer. A human couldn't have wrote that in such a way that the media would expect you to believe that it was a fake sort of man-made book. So I think knowing that the Quran's telling us to be equal, I think that was the big moment for me, which really hit home that this is more than just a speculative religion, particular religion. And it took me a year of real research, and it wasn't just every now and then, it was every day. I was looking, new video, following different people, following different places, and following different things. It was all just online. So after a year of doing that research, I decided, you know what, I believe in this. I believe in the core values of the faith. I believe in the rights of doing this. I believe that there is something after life, but after reading and doing all this research, I now believe the reason I'm doing it is for Allah. And He is the creator of everything. And if I follow the rules and the guidelines and the steps which He's put out before us, then that is the reason why I'm doing this. So at that point, 2016, I said the Shahada. Urged to go into a mosque myself at that point in time, but again reached out over Facebook of all things to Newcastle Central Mosque and said, look, I'm a revert. I'm from Newcastle, lived here all my life, but a year ago I've decided I am following Islam, and I want to do more. What can I do? And I spoke to Imam Abdul Basit, and he invited me down to the mosque. We had a chat before we went into the mosque, and I said my shahada with him because I said, look, I don't know if I've said it right. And he talked me through. I wanted to understand my core beliefs, wanted to understand why I was doing this, wanted to understand how I'd get into where I did. So I just explained all of that to him. We said the shahada. Next thing, he's rushing me down to down the corridor, down towards the mosque, and I didn't really know what was going on. He's like, it's Maghrib time. We've got to get down. I'm actually doing Maghrib prayer, and I'm like, oh, right, okay. So I just followed, and the next thing, I'm at the front of the mosque, shoulder to shoulder with a whole load of other brothers who are all saying Assalamu alaikum, all welcoming me and never seen me before. And there was maybe 30, 40 people in the mosque that day, and there was people of all skin colour, which was a big eye-opener to me. Again, media have done a good presence on you. You think you're going to be brown-skinned to be Muslim. It's absolutely not the truth. Skin colour doesn't come into it. It's your belief. It is what we are. We've been created all equal. So the Imam at Newcastle taking me into Newcastle Mosque was great, and one of the first few people who spoke to me was a white Geordie guy from Newcastle. Come over, Assalamu alaikum brother, welcome, shook my hand, and it was great just hearing an accent that was the same as my accent, skin colour the same skin colour as mine, and every person in that room, in that mosque was welcoming me, and I prayed for the first time with people. And
Nah, sepertilah kisahnya, bagaimana kan kisahnya ini sangat menginspirasi kita bahwa kita itu sebagai umat muslim, dengan adanya video ini kita itu menjadi terinspirasi bahwa kita itu bisa lebih baik lagi. Dan dengan video ini juga mungkin kalian juga yang mungkin non muslim ya, yang menyaksikan ini, kalian juga mungkin ada gambaran seperti apa bahwa agama Kristen itu tidak selalu misalnya benar ya, karena banyak juga kontradiksi di sini. Bahwa agama Kristen, agama non-Islam misalnya gitu ya, jika orang-orang mereka itu mualaf itu karena apa? Kebanyakan itu mereka itu tahu bahwa Islam itu adalah agama yang benar, agama yang lebih masuk akal daripada agama-agama lainnya. Dari mana kita itu bisa tahu hal itu ya, karena kita mempelajari Al-Quran dan mempelajari agama Islam gitu. Kita itu harus terpikir terbuka. Indonesia itu emang toleransi ya, tapi ketika kita dihadapkan dengan sesuatu agama gitu ya, kita harus mengkaji, misalnya agama Kristen seperti ini, agama Hindu seperti ini, agama Islam juga seperti ini, dan berbeda-beda ya, karena di Indonesia itu banyak sekali agama ya, tapi kebanyakan di channel ini adalah tentang agama dari non muslim ke muslim, dikarenakan agama Islam adalah agama yang paling sempurna di dunia ini. Sampai akhir zaman pun Al-Quran itu berkata bahwa Allah itu akan menjaga Al-Quran sampai hari akhir. Nah, seperti itulah bagaimana kisahnya ya. Dan jika kalian suka, jangan lupa untuk like, comment, dan subscribe ya. Dan nantikan video saya selanjutnya. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.